Hey everybody, it has been a bit since I checked in, and although I would have loved to have written something for you, I kept putting it off and putting it off, so I figured a video check-in ideally works. You guys also get to see that my hair is growing in still, which is nice. You get to see that I'm sporting my Team Jess Fox shirt, even though my biceps are not quite there anymore, but I am here. So and it's a gorgeous day, so hopefully this is well received. So update wise, today I'm feeling pretty good. That doesn't happen every day. This, cancer journey is very roller coastery, up and down, and so each day is a new day. I feel like I had pretty good sleep last night. Woke up with pretty good energy. It's also an off chemo week for me, which is always better. The weather helps, which is really nice. So today is a good day. I felt good enough to actually go into the garage and do a workout, which has been extremely inconsistent for me lately, just because I haven't had the energy and the energy, honestly, to do it. I get out of breath really fast. I still have this cough, which at some point I'm gonna start coughing. And today though was good. I filmed some things, so maybe I'll be able to put a reel together later and post that on my social media if you're all interested. It was very basic, but very hard for me. Like I said, everything is really challenging right now. I've lost a lot of strength. I actually had a DEXA scan earlier this month, I believe, and I had one last year as well. And it is clear that I have lost some muscle mass. Thankfully, my bone density is still good too, and so there's all that. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back to some other stuff. So since I last checked in with you, I have had 2 more chemo treatments, which means that I've now had a total of 3 chemo of this aggressive chemo called FOLFIRINOX. Side effects have been extreme nausea, low appetite. I do not eat a whole lot on chemo weeks, which I'm an eater, and I miss that. Just overall, I can't eat as much as I used to. My belly just gets full really fast, and then when I have nausea, I just have no desire to actually eat. So that has been a change, and then there's also just been some pretty extreme fatigue that goes along with the chemo weeks. And there's the neuropathy. So there's more neuropathy that has been setting in, which we are monitoring, because this is something that if you do too much of it, it could be long-standing. I do not want to continue on this chemo if it starts to affect the dexterity in my hands. I mean, they've already been a little bit numb, and my feet have been numb since the first go round. So I do not want to continue. Even though I'm not wearing earrings today, I want to make sure that I can always put earrings in and that I can still type on my computer. So so I might be wrapping up that treatment here soon, which I'll get to in just a little bit. I did have a visit with the pulmonologist to see about my cough. We tried a couple things, a couple meds, still not working. He said the last med that he had suggested was something to help block a nerve, thinking that maybe it was a nerve that was that is causing some of this cough. I was hesitant about taking that pill at first, but then I actually went to have a consultation with a naturopathic doctor who, just listening to my cough, brought it up and was like, oh, maybe it's a nerve block. And so she suggested the same medication that my pulmonologist suggested, so I started that, and I've been on it for about a week and a half now. Um, no real changes. So we'll see. That's still a work in progress, and it's still annoying, but my abs are getting a really great workout all the time, much to my dismay. Let's see what else. Oh, on the positive side of things, I had some friends visit. So Brett and Whitney visited from Brooklyn. They stayed with us for kind of a long weekend, which was great. It was rainy all weekend and crappy in Ohio that time, but we made the most of it, and it was great to see them. Chris and I were then able to go to see a concert in Columbus. We saw explosions in the sky. We had the Moth come into Dayton, and we were able to see that on a weeknight with some local friends. We got to babysit our grandson, which he was supposed to be napping at the time, and he did not nap, which meant that we got to play with him and get all of his, he was super affectionate that day, which is just the best thing in the world. So that was a lot of fun. So those are some positives that I've had going on over these past several weeks. But as I mentioned, this cancer journey is a roller coaster. So there's also been some downs, and some of the downs are some of my blood work. So I have to have blood work before every chemo treatment to make sure that everything is in line, and that my platelets and my white blood cells and red blood cells are okay enough for me to receive treatment. I also get tested for a tumor marker in a test called a CEA test. It basically tests for the overall kind of tumor burden, and I get that test done monthly. So a normal range CEA level is 0 to about 4. When I was first diagnosed, it was through the roof at over 1,000, which people were like, how are you still alive? I personally have only gotten down to as low as maybe 9 back in 2023. But then since then, it's kind of creeped up and down. So I'm used to kind of elevated CEA levels. And for me, when they do get elevated, they do tend to show that there's more tumors inside of me. For others, it's not the case. It's not a reliable source. A month ago, my tumor marker, my CEA level was at 288. And then last week on Tuesday, they spiked to 975. So, unfortunately, that to me seems like an indication that my treatment isn't working. Which means that we've got to consider what some next steps could be. Talk to my oncologist about what that might look like. And right now, it looks like it would be a different chemo called Lonsurf, potentially with another immunotherapy or targeted therapy called Avastin. So the combination of those two. However, I'm still doing some research on that, if that is the best option. I'm also looking out for clinical trials. If any of you have any leads on anything or whatever, please feel free to share them. I'm all ears. And and then I guess the big thing, the deciding factor will be on Monday. Monday I have scans. So scans of my neck, my chest, my abdomen, and my pelvis. So kind of a whole torso scan. That will give us an actual picture of what is going on inside. It will also ideally kind of confirm or deny that there's fluid inside me, which is why one thing I didn't mention is that my belly has been pretty distended overall. I've also actually had a lot of swelling in my feet and legs lately too. So there's some fluid that has been building up inside of me, and the scans ideally will help us figure out where this fluid is building up. Then we can try to figure out why. But ideally they'll be able to go in there, not me, they'll be able to go in there and drain some of that fluid, which could then kind of ease some of this abdominal pressure that I've had kind of continuously. And maybe even it could help with my cough. I don't know. I'm saying anything goes. So Monday will be a big day. My scans are in the morning. I should know by the afternoon. And then I'm set for chemo on Tuesday, the next day. But again, that is kind of variable to see what the scans say and what I feel like me and my oncologist and Chris, obviously, what we feel like our best options are. Also, kind of on a sad note, is that part of being in this cancer world is that you're kind of expected to lose friends, and we lost a friend on Sunday. We lost Janet. Some of you know her, and she taught me that you should truly live your life the way you want to up until the end. She and her partner decided they wanted a baby, and they did a surrogacy 2 years ago, even while she was going through treatment. And just before she passed, she was able to celebrate her child's 1-year birthday. So she got to experience being a mother for a full year, and it was something she really wanted to do. And it's just it's so sweet, and I'm really happy that she could teach me that, because that's what I want when and if it's my time to go. And she'll be missed. She had such a beautiful smile, and we'll all miss her for sure. But I'll think of her when I'm choosing to have more quality and joy in my life instead of just time, because that's really important. I also have 2 friends locally that have just entered hospice care, so that's tough. This cancer is ruthless sometimes, and it feels very unfair. And I'll leave you with just saying that I'm really glad that I have a community to share this with, and that can help support me and send me love and positive thoughts and prayers, if that's your thing, or metta and loving kindness, if that's your thing, or whatever else you want to send me. I mean, but not gifts. Please, I have enough socks and blankets to last me forever. Okay, that's it. Sorry. Love to you all. Thank you for being here, and I'll update soon.